repeat this and then finish the sentence. If I never changed, I would be.
Yeah, if I would have never changed, I would have been probably still homeless, still addicted, probably 95% of a chance that I would have been dead by now. Yeah, so I was born in Pembroke, North Carolina, small town. Growing up, my childhood was mainly sports driven. On the weekends, I would be out in the big city or out in a different state playing traveling baseball, and during the football and basketball season, I would be busy with sports. I was very talented in baseball, and my dreams and goals were to play professional baseball. So I mean, I would go to these camps, these baseball camps, and I have 9 to 12 to 13-year-old guys talking about, can I sign your autograph? So my junior year, I transferred to a different high school in the county to play baseball, and we made a deep run in the playoffs. It was an awesome year. Got my grades up. Transferred back to my high school that I went to the past 2 years, and I don't know. It's just something took over me. I just got these urges of wanting to try drugs because I saw my friends do it. I was always around it. I'm talking about them coming to with the drugs on campus, selling drugs on campus, coming to the school high, and so I'm just like, if they can do that and get away with it, then I have a lot of pull that I can do this and get away with it. But I started taking pain pills here and there. It went from that to trying marijuana for the first time, and I started doing that. And by that time, I was in baseball season, and I was coming to practice high and just coming to the games high. And my coach pulled me aside, and he was like, you're no longer a part of this team. And, for me, baseball has been my love since I was about 3 years old. My first word as a baby was ball. So I mean, all I knew was ball, ball, ball. And so when that happened, I'm just like, life sucks, life's over. I'm never gonna go to college. I don't have any plans to go to college. I mean, if I did, it would be sports. And I went from using pain pills and marijuana to high school, but every weekend I was using alcohol. But casually one day, me and my brother were outside, smoking marijuana together, and it brings up this question. It's like, do you want to start selling marijuana? Because he had started a few weeks prior to that, and I'm just like, yeah, man, it wouldn't be a problem because our name's out there. People know us. I'm telling you, man, in about a 1 month span, we were locking and loading. We were making probably up to $1,000 a day, maybe profit. But after selling marijuana, I ventured out into cocaine and pain pills, and I was like, man, because it took a little while to get our marijuana profit, but this cocaine and these pain pills, people loved it. And so I'm just like, I can get this quick, fast, efficient. People want it all day, all night. And so I met this guy. I started running with him. I'm talking about staying up 3 to 4 to 5, 6 days at a time, just working up my clientele. And after that, man, it was rough mentally. I'm riding around with me, this girl, and a good friend of mine. And out of nowhere, she takes a can out of her purse, and she was like, I want to purchase some crack from you. And I'm just like, wow, you're still in high school. This is crazy. And so, I mean, I'm dumb. I sell it to her. And she contacts me a few nights after that. And we meet at this gas station. It's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm parked on the side of the gas station, but she's parked in the gas tanks. And she was like, just give me 1 second. I'm waiting on my friend to come. And I'm just like, okay. We're just sitting there hanging out, whatever. She pulls around beside us. I was on my cell phone. I may be looking at a text. And I heard somebody walking on rocks because the parking lot was gravel. And so, man, I look to my right, and this guy has a bandana on with a shotgun and pulls it out. I'm talking, he's probably about 3 feet away from the car, and he was like, don't you move. And I put the car in drive off. He never pulls the trigger. Never pulls the trigger. After the long days, long nights, I just couldn't sleep. Eventually I would have like suicidal thoughts. I remember being in this dark place, just mentally, physically, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I was addicted, cocaine, marijuana, sex, pornography, you name it. I remember just like yesterday, I went to my bedroom, all these things going on in my life, and I'm just like, Lord, if you are real, then show me that you're real, because I need healing and I cannot live with this the rest of my life. And I remember just my mom was always there for me, when I was younger, and she came about 20 minutes later. I packed my clothes, went back home. I detoxed for a few days, and probably about 2 weeks later, I gave my life to Christ in my pastor's office. I remember walking out of that church, and on the way home, me and my mom are weeping, and my sister and my brother, and I'm just like, I look at nature and I look at God's creation, I'm just like, there's life here. And as dead as I was in my sins, I realized that He lives in me and I'm in Him, and there's life here. I just discovered how, God was in worship, God was in me, God was in His church. Coming from a small church to this, it's just been amazing just to see how the Lord works and how vast and just how big He is. I love the community of the Gate Church and how a community established we are, and you see how God's people love people who aren't even in church. I was just one of the lucky ones to make it out, get involved with church and just involved in ministry. But, I always reflect on just God's grace and how just precious His love has been for me every week. I don't take any moment for granted. Never think you're too lost, because the power of the cross is evident in my life. It's evident in millions of people's lives. I'm not the only person that has a testimony. A lot of people have testimonies, but there's always light on the other side, because Jesus is the light.